So, Fortnite made quite the change that seems to have a fair number of people talking, to the point where even people like me, who don't really care about the game, kind of stopped and went, wait, what? So, I will be completely honest right off the gate here. I don't particularly care for Fortnite. I also don't particularly care for any Battle Royale game in general. I think that they're not fun, too reliant on RNG, because you can be the best player in the lobby, but land and find, a little baby pistol, and the kid next to you finds a fucking rocket launcher or something, But at the same time, though, the whole, even though I'm definitely not the most qualified person in the world to talk about this, at the same time, the whole building mechanic was what made Fortnite, at least in my eyes, unique. At least among the other Battle Royale games out there, because especially compared to something like H1Z1, PUBG, or even Call of Duty Blackout and eventually Warzone, none of them had, the unique mechanic of, the whole building thing like Fortnite did. And from what I understand, the whole no building thing is a temporary thing, but at the same time, by taking it out, I feel like that's kind of basically taking away the one part of the game that actually made it stand out to at least a lot of people. That'd be like taking Call of Duty Zombies and taking out the ray gun. You don't do that. I mean, you can, but it wouldn't make sense and would probably piss a lot of people off anyway. But all the taking the building out is doing is just turning it into basically just every other BR game out there with its unnecessarily cartoony art style that is popular with the kids and is also popular with the ridiculously colored hair streamers that are trying to make money off of mommy and daddy's credit card. But, I mean, like I said, I don't particularly care for Battle Royale just as a genre. I think it's kind of boring. I think it's kind of samey. I think it's been done to death. And the big one is I just don't think it's fun. So I'm a bit mixed on the whole taking building out. The main thing for me is, like I said, they're taking out basically the one part of the game that actually made it, unique. But at the same time, I can sort of understand it, because you can argue that it's a slightly more level playing field, because now you're not going to have the turbo build kid that fucking scrapes his knee and builds the Empire State Building in a matter of 2 seconds, and while, it could be amusing content creation wise, because you can lead to, stuff like this, but at the same time, for someone like me who already doesn't really care that much about the game, the fact that there's two whole separate mechanics you gotta keep track of is a little annoying, especially for me where I don't necessarily have a whole lot of time to myself during the day. So I'm gonna put what time I have towards, something that's fun. And I'm sorry, but BR games in general are just not fun to me. I don't like it. I've tried it solo, I've tried it with friends, and I've just never had that particularly great of an experience with it. So, I know that makes me, I'm, especially considering, I'm fucking nobody on the internet. I'm not like a pro player or anything. I'm not a big streamer or anything. So I'm sure my opinion is going to fall completely on deaf ears, but at the same time, I still think it's stupid to take the one thing out of the game that actually makes it unique, makes it stand out, makes it iconic. Everybody knows, what it is. Everybody, pretty much everybody's that at least heard of it, And by taking that out, it almost feels like it's losing its soul. You're taking out, a key element of it, I don't know. I just saw this a little earlier, and I posted something on Twitter earlier as well. But I don't really know. Like I said, from what I understand, it is a temporary thing. But at the same time, I still think it's kind of a dumb move because, like I said, you're taking out the one thing that's unique. And then the other thing is that I'm sure all the competitive people are going to be freaking out because, from what I understand, a lot of the competitive players are either really, really good at the building and okay at shooting, or they're really, really okay at shooting and they're not so great at the whole building thing. So obviously, on the one, from a competitive standpoint, I can kind of see why it would be good, because it's actually going to reward like better gunplay, better aim, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, for the people who are so used to the whole build mechanics, they were able to build strategies around that. I can see why they'd be annoyed. But at the same time, I am not a competitive player, and I have no desire to ever go competitive in any game ever. So I am not really qualified to talk about that either. But at the same time, it is still something that I kind of wanted to rant about, because while the game itself isn't necessarily that big of a deal to me, while I don't really care about Fortnite or any BR game in general, because gaming is one of my primary hobbies. I love to play video games, and I play a lot of different ones. Whenever big news like this comes around, I admittedly can't help but form an opinion of some kind. And I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. And to be completely honest, if anybody has any staunchly different opinions from my own, I'd actually be interested to see them in the comment section if people were so inclined. Shameless plug, hint, hint, wink, wink. But anyway, that's going to be it from me for now. Hopefully I'll see you all later. Peace.